Hello guys, welcome to a new video. This time we are diving into some fun and interesting facts about Tomb Raider that may surprise even long-time fans. From hidden details in the games to unique behind-the-scenes details. There's still so much to uncover about Lara Croft's adventures. Let's get started. The reason they changed Lara from being Hispanic to British was that back then it was tough to research details, so it was easier to go with something familiar that for them was British. The Lost Valley level was inspired by Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World. The name Lara is derived from the Greek name Larissa, meaning citadel, which fits her guarded and mysterious personality. The T-Rex was originally just part of a test demo, but they decided to add into the game for fun, even though it didn't really make sense. Lara has infinite ammo because the developers didn't want players wondering why she couldn't use physical attacks when she ran out of ammo. Plus, they didn't want to clutter the levels with too much ammo for her to pick up. In the first game, the cutscene at Lara's home ends with a close-up of the window, and when you start playing as Lara, she's standing by the same window, like a continuation of that cutscene. And I thought it was very interesting because it's something so obvious but I never noticed, and there's probably more people that also didn't. In the first game, the sound of Lara pulling her pistols from the holsters was created using a boot. Some extra sounds Lara makes, like ouch, weren't done by the voice actor, Shelley, but by Heather, one of the developers, and another woman named Susie. They realized they needed these sounds after recording all of Shelley's lines, and for example, after Shelley finished, they later added the block pushing ability, so they needed the sounds for that. Early PC versions of Tomb Raider 1 didn't have music due to CD-ROM limitations. The developers wanted to add a segment where Lara runs through falling debris after defeating Natla, but they didn't have enough time to do it. They were disappointed that the game just ended with her sliding down. Lara's dual pistols are a nod to Quentin Tarantino, Ringo Lam, and John Woo movies. In the beginning of Grease, Pierre wouldn't just fight Lara. There was an idea where he sometimes would help her solve puzzles. That would be very interesting actually. The first game is named Tomb Raiders in Japan. This is because they wanted to sound similar to Raiders of the Lost Ark, that is an Indiana Jones movie. For the Japanese version, they requested Lara to be redesigned with a big manga-style head, but the team refused because they wanted to keep her look consistent. That's why the Japanese cover doesn't show her face. They thought a Western design wouldn't appeal in Japan, and they were probably right since the game didn't sell very well. The first game was mainly inspired by Indiana Jones, while the second game took inspiration from James Bond movies. Winston is coded as violent because he is always chasing Lara, though he has no weapons or ways to attack her. The ending of Tomb Raider 2 is a nod to the Nude Raider rumor, a code that people believe would make Lara appear naked. In the final level of Tomb Raider 2, there was an idea to add Winston with a gun. He wouldn't use it against enemies, which is a shame, but he just shoots randomly, which would be pretty funny and interesting to see. Lara's favorite movie is Deliverance. There were plans for Tomb Raider 2.5, Further Adventures of Lara Croft, which would have included 7 levels, a new storyline, and new villains. The developers wanted to make Tomb Raider 3 for the PS2 and asked for 3 years to develop. And you may think it's weird because the PS2 was just released some years after, but like they wanted to start it to work on the game so it would be released probably in the first year of the console launch. In the official Japanese guide for the first game, there is an illustration of an anime version of Lara and other characters. It was the U2 band that asked for footage of the game to share on their tour. There was an idea for a game called Time Rider, where Lara would chase a crazy scientist through time before he uses a powerful artifact that can change history. Another idea was called Hunter's Prey, where Lara is captured and taken to a bunker or remote island and she has to escape from billionaire hunters. I don't know why this seems so weird, and it kind of reminds me of Squid Game. Shelley Blond, the first voice actor for Lara Croft, almost returned for Tomb Raider Legion, but they decided to go with Keely. The look of Von Croy was inspired by Max von Sydow, who had a bit of an evil vibe. In Angel of Darkness, Lara would use a GPS to save her game. I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but I recently learned that she had to do it in a safe place, or else the enemies could destroy it. For Angel of the Darkness, they considered making Lara an alcoholic and burning down her home. These ideas were seen as a bit too extreme and were scrapped. And I'm really happy that they at least scrapped the first one, because I really didn't want to see an alcoholic Lara. You know, I already saw another, like, one of my favorite characters is Leon from Resident Evil, and it was weird to see him like an alcoholic in one of the movies. It just doesn't fit the character. The manor ended up being burned later in Tomb Raider Underworld. Now thinking of it, I wonder if she lost all her precious artifacts and books. Lara and the Guardian of Light was originally going to be set in New Orleans, but they changed it to Mexico because it was easier to reuse assets from the previous games. For example, they used the music and they would use like some vegetation. Also, some of the statues you see in the game are from Underworld. Did you ever notice that? While making Tomb Raider 2013, the developers felt that Lara was unrelatable because of the infinitive ammo. There was also another reasons, but this one was new. For Tomb Raider 2013, there was an idea where Lara's hair would get stuck on a plane, and she would have to choose between cutting her hair or getting burned by fire. This was actually an option that players would have, which is kind of stupid because if you choose one, you die. I don't even need to say which one. So they thought that her hair was too iconic to do that, so they just scrapped the idea. But it would have represented a fresh start for her, and I feel like I saw her with short hair in one of the images from Tomb Raider Ascension, I think. The cards used in Rise of the Tomb Raider were a scrapped idea from Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris. Michael Jackson had a life-size Lara Croft statue in the arcade room at Neverland Ranch. Tomb Raider was the first and only game to have its own theme park ride at Paramount, called The Ride, which is not very original. Lara Croft is the only video game character to have her own album, Come Alive, sung by her official model at the time, actress Rona Mitra. And I don't know, there was some music that I thought they were okay, but others, so it's a matter of taste. In the 90s, Liverpool goalkeeper David James let in 4 easy goals and later said in a newspaper it was because he'd stayed up all night playing Tomb Raider. In England, the police raided the house of 42-year-old computer shop owner David Williams in May of 2007 after spotting what looked like a gun-wielding figure. It turned out to be a Lara Croft statue. Lara Croft is recognized as one of the Britain's most famous video game characters, even earning her own star on Derby's Walk of Fame. Lara Croft's outfit was inspired by Ellie from Jurassic Park. French actress Vanessa almost landed the role of Lara Croft before Angelina Jolie. She even auditioned and promoted Tomb Raider 2. Lara's first model had hair inspired by Belle from Disney's Beauty and the Beast, with that single strand of hair on her forehead, and was also generally inspired by Tank Girl. Los Alamos County in New Mexico, where Oppenheimer tested the nuclear bomb, is the same place where Natla's ice prison capsule was buried thousands of years ago by Qualopec and Tiocan. The nuclear test accidentally freed the capsule and the Queen of Atlantis from her resting place. Tomb Raider is the only video game to have used the London Symphony Orchestra to record the soundtrack for The Angel of the Darkness. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, that helps the video reach more people, and subscribe for more videos. Also, share in the comments the things that you didn't know. I always love to know that you guys discover new things with my videos. Until next time, bye bye!